In October of 2017, a group of 9th grade students from High Tech High traveled to Flagstaff, Arizona to plant cottonwood trees alongside scientists from Northern Arizona University. The mission was to figure out which trees could survive the effects of climate change due to their differences.
Being away from San Diego itself was a great experience. We didn't have to worry about checking our phones every 5 minutes or keeping up with responsibilities at school. This trip showed me how nature can bring out a whole different side in people. Just being able to stand on top of a canyon and have nothing but the sound of wind and beautiful scenery to focus on was worth the 9 hours in the car we spent to get there. I think this is a good reminder to look up every once in a while and notice the bigger and more important things around me.
Before the trip, my eyes had been closed to what beauty really was. This all changed when I saw the Grand Canyon at sunset, the beautiful stars in Flagstaff, and the beauty of the desert. Now I seek out the kind of natural beauty I witnessed in Arizona, hoping to someday feel that sense of astonishment that I felt there.
The trip provided all of us the chance of a lifetime. The views were breathtaking and the experience was unreal. Every tree planted, ounce of mud, and drop of sunlight at the crack of dawn seemed to create a new memory.
Something that was amazing from the trip was the sights we saw. It was incredible to see that kind of beauty up close in person. I really enjoy seeing all the nature around me as it reminded me of why the earth means so much to me and why we should try to preserve it.
Climate change takes a huge impact on our world today. Despite the deniers in this world, we know that as inhabitants of the earth, it is up to us to make a change. If we don't, the consequences are devastating. This research project helped us get a better understanding of how climate change will affect us and how it does already.
So we're just starting to learn how to do this. And so what you're seeing is not only a restoration project, it's a science project in which we're trying to learn which plants will really do well in this environment. So there's a very much a genetic component to these studies, because some plants, for example, are genetically programmed to have deep root systems, and other plants are genetically programmed to have very shallow root systems. So by planting both of these kinds of plants here, we can learn which ones actually do best.
And planting trees and actually helping the ecosystem.
What do you think of your first trip like this in high school?
Really, really fun. It was amazing.
We cherish natural beauty because it is one of the only things in the world that are original and sent to us by Earth. To me, beauty can only be found in a singularity and not something quantified. The Grand Canyon, for example, no other formations has comparable features that can undermine it. You get such a bigger feeling when you're in the presence of a one-of-a-kind rather than a one of many. You're in a space so perfectly designed for the life it creates because it hasn't yet caught up to the widespread malice men bring with them. We care for these places and find them so attractive because it's a gift of life from nature.
Waking up at 6:40 in the morning under the 95-degree sun was harsh. What made it even harder was the strenuous labor that came with it. While it was difficult to overcome these challenges, it was well worth it. Knowing that our labor contributed towards a study that will ultimately push humanity's knowledge of climate change made us feel an overwhelming sense of accomplishment.
On this trip, I found a new meaning of beauty.
Watching the sunset at the Grand Canyon was absolutely breathtaking. Watching the sky with all the stars out and the big bright moon was just the same, breathtaking. Climbing on the rocks of Flagstaff while the sun was rising was just as beautiful.
The global temperature has risen 1.7 degrees Fahrenheit since 1880, and carbon dioxide levels are the highest they've been in the last 650,000 years. And if we don't step in to make a change, all of the beauty that we witnessed on our trip will be gone.